This is the story of how I borrowed $10,000, bet on myself, and had 10 days to completely change my life. 5 years ago on Valentine's Day 2021, I got on a plane from Florida back to Hawaii. COVID had flipped my life upside down. I had burned through my savings, cashed out my 401k, and I was running out of options. But I knew there was an opportunity in Maui. My friend Jay had been number one in the company before COVID, and when they started rebuilding, they wanted him back. He told them, if you take me, you take Nugget too. Now, I never interviewed, never talked to HR, and they just agreed. On a layover on the way to Oahu, I called my other best friend, Pure, and I told him that I had an opportunity to change my life. I knew I could do it. I just needed help getting there. And I asked him to loan me $10,000, and he agreed on the spot. When I landed in Oahu, I had 10 days. 10 days to pack up my life and Jay's life. 10 days to sell everything in storage. 10 days to ship both of our cars to Maui. 10 days to close one chapter and start another. Melissa Solomon picked us up from the airport. She let us stay at her place, let us borrow her truck, and my girlfriend at the time and her little dog moved with me. This wasn't just my bet. We sold everything piece by piece and got it done. Then we moved to Maui. Kyle Goodman, a long-term friend of mine, let us stay in his spare room. After that, a coworker named Billy, who was heading to Nicaragua, let us stay at his place in Olowalu. If you've ever driven that stretch of Highway 30, you know how quiet it is. There's basically only mountains on one side and ocean on the other. And it felt isolating after 18 years in the busy city of Waikiki. Every morning before work, I ran that highway in the dark. I was reading a book called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And I kept thinking about this quote, you never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. I remember thinking, even if this doesn't work out, I'll be proud of myself because I gave it everything I had. That's why I ran every morning, why I stayed positive, why I filled my head with the right things. I wasn't willing to quit on myself. Again, here's what people don't know. I had worked for this company before. The first time I didn't do very well. When it got uncomfortable, I went back to what was familiar. Comfort pulled me back. This time was different. If I failed, there was no comfort waiting. So I made a decision. I burned the boats. No backup plan. No, I'll just go back. I was going to figure it out. They pulled me out of training early, and I took a tour. I closed the deal, then another. Less than a year later, I was on a plane for New Year's Eve, and I realized something. My car was paid off, my credit cards were paid off, and I was actually debt-free. That moment meant more to me than any income number. The next year became the biggest financial year of my life, but the real shift happened before that. It happened on that plane. It happened on those early morning runs. It happened the day I decided there was no exit plan. Looking back now, I see it clearly. It was a burn the boats moment, but it was also a moment of self-trust. I was scared, but I was more certain than I was scared. And that decision changed my standards forever. I'm grateful for the people who believed in me, grateful I didn't talk myself out of it, and grateful I chose growth over comfort. That decision didn't just change my income, it changed who I became. There are a few things this taught me. Number one, decisions shape identity. You don't become confident first, you make a decision and then you grow into it. Number two was if you keep an exit plan, you'll use it. Most people don't fail because they can't do it. They fail because they leave themselves a way out. Number three, environment matters more than motivation. What you listen to, what you read, what you expose yourself to, that's what carries you when things get hard. And number four, the people around you matter more than you think. Jay opening the door for me, Pure trusting me with $10,000, friends giving us a place to stay. None of this happens alone. And number 5, there is something I've learned through communication and speaking. The way you tell your story changes what it means. If I tell this like I got lucky, it means one thing. If I tell this like this was a decision, a commitment, a standard, it becomes something you can apply to your own life. That was one of the decisions that changed everything for me. Your life changes when your decisions change. This is Nugget with nuggetspeaks.com.